Are they real? Mm-hmm. Yes, they're real.
All eyes on T.
Are those your eyes?
For real?
Yes, they're my eyes.
All eyes on T.
I'm so sorry for staring.
No, you're not. Your mama should have taught you better.
All eyes on T.
Want to know the how-to, the when did, and all the whys?
Yes.
All eyes on T.
Want to sit back and relax with a drink in your hands?
All eyes on T.
Hear the scoop in the news with all my friends.
All eyes on T.
Want to say something? Don't.
All eyes on T.
Welcome back to All Eyes on T. That's right. I got a house full of people today. That's right. I got a lot of people here. We're going to talk about emotional health. But before that, I definitely want to talk to everybody about my week because I want to know about your week. First of all, let's see. My week was very chill. Until the last part, I was up here filming with my peoples and everything and went to John Amos Memorial Service. And that's about it. And now I'm here with you all. So you all tell me about your week, and I will get into all kinds of things. I don't know, whatever. Just tell me about your week. But let me talk to you about my guests that are here today. We have about 5 people here today. We're talking about emotional health. The holidays are here. And, you know, people they ain't too right. You know, we need help. So we got special guest here, Dr. Javar Godfrey. Everybody clap. Hey. Emotional health specialist. Yes. We have retired educator and coach, Miss Joanna Wright. Yes. We have Andy Corneille, who's a filmmaker. Thank you. He helps out Mr. Dr. Javar Godfrey with all his filming and everything.
He's the bomb.
Yeah, he is the bomb.
Where's my
How come I couldn't
He said, where's my applause?
You want to clap?
I'm all in my feelings before we begin. How come I couldn't be the bomb? They come up and then all of a sudden he the bomb. I was working with him. I'm just overtired. Like y'all done put me out the pasture. And we're here to talk about emotional health with the elderly. I'm trying to come and turn up to get everybody happy. It was just a drive-by for me.
There she go, Mama.
Do you need a session?
I think she do.
I need a little more love.
Listen, Mom.
Okay.
Mom. That's what you're doing.
I ain't got no red bottom shoes, but I ain't got to dance no more.
All right, and keep going on. We have Miss Keisha Cooper, who is a mental health specialist here. And then we also have Mr. Josue. I always get, I will call you Jose in 2.5 seconds. It's Josue. I love that name.
Thank
Velz,
you.
right?
Yes,
and
Velz.
he is the CEO of True Tag Visual Media Company.
Yes.
Enjoy. I love it. All you all are trailblazers here, and that's what I love to do, talk and celebrate trailblazers. So give it up for yourselves right now. That's right. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go around the room. We're going to talk about what you do and how you got started and everything, starting with you, Doctor.
So, hello, everyone. I'm an emotional health coach. My name is Dr. Javar Godfrey. I live in Tampa, Florida, and I started the company Tag Movement Consulting, originally writing curriculum for schools, and then United States Department of Justice, Honeywell, Sherwin-Williams Paint, list goes on. But now I specifically travel around the world and just help out different schools and communities, and specifically families, learn how to heal and feel. And so a lot of voices you'll hear today help me out a lot, including this one over here. Help me take my program and it be seen all over the world. And so I always come back to support you. I think you're doing a good job.
Well, thank you so much.
I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you.
So
I'm happy to have you here, Doctor.
yeah, hey.
Doctor. Okay, so anyways, yes, Miss Wright.
She's the best. Look at her. She's so pretty.
Beautiful,
She got a little Thanksgiving brown on.
so
Are you
beautiful.
ready for Thanksgiving?
Look at me.
Okay. Where
I
the
got on
turkey
my
at?
turkey colors.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
hey.
We got the turkey colors on and everything, but thank you
nice
for
little
joining us.
toasted brown turkey. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you for thanking me.
right.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm just a retired educator, as you all have seen from the people who are surrounding me.
Okay.
And I was a very good educator. I'm still trying to educate.
Well, she educated. She edumacating.
But I'm a retired, I'm not really retired. I'm redirected.
There you go. There you
And
go.
so
I like
there you
that.
have it.
I like that.
And so
I like that.
being an educator in itself says that I've learned something through the years. So I hope to add to the dialogue.
Oh, well,
today.
thank you very much. Thank you. All right, so moving on to Andy. Andy, tell us about yourself.
What's up? So my day job is working at a school called New York Institute of Technology. I'm the assistant director of the Career Success Office there. And my night job, part-time job on the side is videography, filmmaking, photography. I've always had a creative outlet. I'm a talented person, I would say. And I'm just trying to direct that talent and reach places I know I can get to. I guess that's me in a nutshell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I like
That's
it.
right.
Thank you very
That's
much for
right.
stopping
Yeah.
by. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Miss Keisha.
Well, hey.
Hey.
So, hi, everyone. I'm Keisha Golden Cooper. I don't drop the golden
Oh,
because
I'm sorry.
Mama knows me from being Golding. I am also a retired, air quotes, educator. I spent 25 years and 5 months in the New Jersey K-12 system, and I made that pivot to mental health. So I am a New Jersey State Licensed Associate Counselor. I see anyone jokingly from the time they come out to the time they go back into the grave. But I currently have a clientele base of individuals and couples from the ages of 16 on over to 56. So that's part of my day job since I left that K-12 world. I also started KGC Consulting, where I do educational consulting for schools and organizations on how to support overall mental health and wellness. And I had the pleasure of meeting Dr. Godfrey not too long ago through the fabulous Miss Joanna Wright, who am
The bomb.
the bomb diggity,
Yeah.
who I will always claim probably the person that has known her the longest in the room. I've known her since my freshman year in college.
Wow.
When I was one of her student teachers at the district where she was working in. And it was a powerful moment that really inspired me to continue to inspire those through my years. And hopefully I'm making you proud.
Very.
Oh, that's
Very
so
proud.
sweet.
Yes.
I love that. I
Yes.
love it. You
Did
have
you
a
know that?
No, I didn't know
Yeah.
all that
Yeah.
connection and everything.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I knew the connection, but I didn't know it was that long
Oh,
ago.
Yeah, she's a trackster, you know.
I ran track.
Yeah, well, of
in
course.
the-
Yeah.
But Miss Wright was very very special to me.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. She's special to me too. You special.
So special.
You so special. You're special. All right. So we got our last guest
Yes.
here, Mr. Josue.
Josue.
Rico Suave.
With the
Velz,
glasses.
who is the CEO of your company of Tag. What is it called?
Tag True Visuals.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's it all started as literally a dream that I currently feel that I'm actually living on. But I found a passion in photography, filmmaker, like 10 years ago. I bought a camera. My first daughter was born in 2015, Camila. I have two little girls. I have 4-year-old Valentina and my 9-year-old Camila.
Aw.
And so when she was born, I was like, I want to capture a lot of these memories of her growing up. So I bought myself a camera, and just turned into a hobby. And next thing you know, I started taking, kind of stepping myself out of the comfort zone and just taking on bigger projects and just putting myself out there and just happened to find a passion. And now it's been blessed. I get to travel the world. I meet amazing people along the journey, and I'm just super grateful to just be here. And thank you, Tanya, for
Thank
the
you.
invite.
Thank you. Now, first of all, everybody, these two gentlemen right here, Josue and Andy, they travel the world with Dr. Javar, getting everything on emotional health. Dr. Javar goes all over the world. I think you were in Bermuda the last time I spoke to you before you came back here this way.
Yep, doing a big project with them, the island. So they had a stabbing actually over there, and they don't really play that as it relates to the community. And so they see me on CBS News, and actually this is Bermuda. This is them, right? This is them. And so they see me on CBS News, and I wrote a grief curriculum that I got adopted a lot of places, so they took it there, and I'm working there now currently. I'll be there for the rest of the year, and the team is gonna come in April. So,
I'm coming.
Come on.
I'm
Come on.
coming. It's my
Where we
birthday.
going?
We're going to Bermuda.
Yeah, it's my birthday.
My
too,
birthday
yeah.
is April 19th.
Oh, so mine's April 16th. What you want?
Ooh, it's your show. You
What
win.
you want, a cookie?
You win. It's your show. You win.
Yeah.
You win for you.
All right. So tell us about your curriculum. Let's get into the talk about emotional health.
Commercial
okay.
break. That's a drop.
Yeah, tell us about the curriculum.
So the curriculum is basically got developed. I was a school social worker for 15 years, and I worked with a lot of teen moms, and I worked with a lot of what people would call gangsters. And so when they got out of jail or whatever they were dealing with, probation, they would come to me, and we had to figure out a way to keep them engaged besides math, science, and health, things like that. And so I developed a curriculum called Healing My Emotions, and I broke it up into 4 segments, which is thoughts, triggers, trauma, and then triumph. And I did that because those are the areas that I found that not only kids will come, but also teachers, parents, and the community. The curriculum is a holistic approach. And so when I go, just like when I travel around, it's not just like me and you talking. I need to talk to the family that surrounds you, the community that surrounds you. And also, we learned inside of the curriculum that your voice matters. And so my curriculum is one of the first that kids actually are the teacher and the students.
All right, so tell me about the first time you used. Wait a minute. How did you develop this curriculum? I mean, you went to school and everything. How did you come up with just the trauma, triggers, and what was it?
Yeah, so it's thoughts. It's thoughts, triggers, trauma, and triumph.
And why did you select those 4 things?
Because that's what I felt that, they did a lot of research on just mental health. And I did a lot of digging, and I found that some of the stuff that they did find is just not true anymore, right? It's the way that we live and the way you talk to people and the way people respond to you. And so there's certain trigger words, but trigger words come from what? Thoughts. So you start with thoughts, and then you move to triggers. And then once you find out which really triggers you, you really start to find like, oh, that's where my trauma lies. And then once you find your trauma, you can't leave them on the ground. Now how you gonna get up? And so that's where triumph comes. So it's thoughts, trigger, trauma, and then you triumph.
Okay, so tell me about the first time you used this curriculum anywhere, wherever it was. Was it a high school, parents, adults, kids? I don't know.
Yeah, so it was again, I was in Columbus, Ohio. It was a school called Focus Learning Academy. They had 16 to 22-year-olds without a degree, and I had teen moms, and I had a bunch of like they were called gangsters and people that didn't want to come to school. And so we put them inside of a room, and everybody was talking about they didn't want to learn. And so I figured out different ways and different activities to pull out of them the talents and the gifts and the creativity that's inside of them, right? And so what I did was they were rapping. And so I went to the circle that people were scared to go in. And I said, what y'all talking about? And they were like, we're just rapping. So I said, I tell y'all what, if y'all come into the classroom and say these same raps, I'll bring a belt. You always bring some type of competition. You want kids, you create competition,
Right.
Don't do anything.
Right.
And so I brought them a belt on Monday, so they showed up on Monday. So now I got attendance. And when I got in, I said, now if you fight, you can't compete Tuesday. Well, I got to come Tuesday for it. Well, because you got practice.
Right, right.
So then they start practicing. And of course, the teachers are like, well, what? And then I said, now on Wednesday when you come, you got to write it down. I don't care how you write it, but you have to get something down. So that became a work sample. So now the parents were coming to parent-teacher conference. They had nothing to show. So then now they would pull out their raps and be like, yo. So then you get attendance, you get behavior, and then you get a culture that people are trying to write now. When you go to an English class, they don't want to write because there's nothing to spark create. You know,
Right.
like Andy was trying to say about creativity.
Right.
You want to spark that. And kind of back to like Mama, when I'm with her, she sparks a creativity inside of me that just, it's a flame, right? And look what happened.
Yeah.
You get it? She
Definitely.
sparked it, and look what the flame did.
Yeah.
Like you're here because
Yeah.
of her, he's here because of her, she's here because of her,
Yeah.
he's here because of her, but I'm here because she sparked my flame.
Right.
Y'all don't know that I did a TED Talk and that all sound good, but what happened when I was about to do the TED Talk? The truth.
He was not going to do the TED Talk. He was going to give it to a friend. And I said, no, you don't do that.
No, you
She
A
said,
TED
get on
Talk
the
is something
plane
that's-
now, such and such, whatever. But my point is, and this is what everybody needs to know, you are not alone.
Right.
And when you think that you know it all and nobody can tell you anything, that's when you are alone. And like, I couldn't come do this podcast without my team.
Right.
How would that look? Think about that. though.
Right.
Me and you just doing this, and they all behind me.
No, that's why I invited everybody, because we are.
Do you see what
team.
That's
We
the
definitely-
point. And for everybody out there, I know this is like kind of, but fast forwarding what you're going to say, but for the holiday seasons, you're not alone. And what real gift are you giving? And if it's material, check yourself. Because right now, this is a present. Because we're all in each other's presence. You don't get no better than that. But you think you want some glasses.
Or whatever.
Or you want a phone.
Yeah.
You know, or you want a new car.
Right.
What you really want is time.
And love.
And you can't get time back. You can't do anything to get it back. But you let people steal your time talking about them. How can I steal time from you? You in my business. I'm going to steal your time. Your food getting cold. Do you care? I'm going to steal your time. Stop letting people steal your time. How do you do that? Quick tool. Stay in your story. Stay in your story. You ain't in the wrong lane.
So let me ask you, Keisha. You started your mental health journey back in the, I don't know how many years ago. We're just going to say a couple years ago. Yeah, and everything.
In schools,
yeah. So you started out in schools first?
Yeah. So
tell me about that.
Sure. So first of all, everything he said, absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely.
definitely.
So I first started in schools right out of college. I taught health and PE for about 5 years. We never say gym. I taught in the gym, but I taught health and PE. And what I found was that as I'm engaging in all these games and all these activities, whatever they were, kids just kept coming to my office afterwards to talk. To talk, because something I learned from someone, you create that woman right there. Something I learned from her, from watching Miss Wright, from watching her engage and interact with her students, was that they just want to be heard. You can have any and everything, but if they're not feeling seen, valued, and heard, they're just going to clam up. So I took that model when I started teaching, and I would just throw the curriculum away, sit on the desk, and we would just talk. Afterwards, kids just kept coming to my office. But I also remember from my mentors, always stay in your lane, work within your certification. So I went on and continued and got my master's in counseling.
Okay.
I became, in Jersey, what's called a student assistance counselor or a crisis counselor. And I did that for 15 years. I was school-based mental health.
Okay.
So from risk assessments to drug and alcohol to everything. Kids would come in and they would talk to me about everything.
Right.
So I had actually been doing mental health since 2003 in public school setting.
Wow.
Working with different people coming in with fabulous curriculum, not as good as what Dr. Godfrey has, but fabulous curriculum. And I had an epiphany about a year and a half ago, and I said to my husband, something's burning for me to do something else. So I went to become a licensed mental health clinician in the state of New Jersey, where I'm now doing everything I did in schools, but in my own way, in my own time, still having my flair, doing it. Yes, I have that licensure, but it hasn't changed my approach in ensuring that people feel valued, seen, and heard. And that's what I'm doing now, and I love it.
Okay.
Absolutely love it. They keep coming back every week to see me.
Yeah, of course.
Referring their friends.
I mean, I would too. I'd come talk to you. I would come talk to you. You know, I would. I definitely would. I got a whole slew of people that need to come talk to somebody.
Come on now. I see virtual and in person.
Yeah.
In the state of New Jersey.
All right. Okay. So what makes you different from everybody else?
Outside of being KGC? What makes me different is that I never say that I'm the expert in your story, because I'm not. I believe in everyone, that everyone has the desire and drive to do well and do better. What sets me apart is my K-12 experience that most of my colleagues do not have. What sets me apart is that I'm a Black female, which we are a rare commodity in the mental health field.
Yes.
What sets me apart is I'm a first person to be here in my family, so I also relate to, thank you from Jamaica, you know. Y'all
from Jamaica.
Y'all doing turkey, I'm doing curry goat for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Go ahead now.
So those things set me apart. My approach sets me apart. One of my hidden talents that I've come into is being approachable. Right? And yes, I do all of the things with the diagnostic manual, DSM-5, and treatment plans, but what sets me apart is that I truly am genuine at all times.
Okay.
And it sounds like every therapist should be, but they're not.
Really?
Oh, no. Some of them are very textbook. The other thing that sets me apart is I fully accept the fact that all the things that I learned in school were from a Eurocentric perspective, right? And I acknowledge that.
Right.
Freud, yes, we had to learn it to take the NCEs. I had to do it to take the test to give me the certification. But that's not what I abide by.
Okay.
Yeah, not what I abide by.
We just had a dialogue last night after we had come in from Turning Up.
You know, she's a turn-up queen.
You know she is.
Turn-up queen.
And
Definitely.
she's not playing, though.
No.
She's dancing.
Yeah.
And we were talking about diagnostic kinds of things for mental health, and there's really nothing that can show in blood tests or anything else that you may be ADHD or ADD or
so when you
whatever.
run around with all these labels,
Correct.
we did research. It was about 1, 2 in the morning. I was going video. We was doing all the research.
Correct.
There's not a test that's proven that can say you got ADHD.
Do you know what it's about?
There's a vote. They vote.
Cream.
Cream.
Cashews,
What?
everything around me. Cashews, I'm with you.
Cream.
How do you? Never mind. This ain't
How
that
the
session. This is not the session.
It's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
We gotta get the whole sway.
That's the whole-
No, please
But
don't.
it's about cream.
What separates you?
No, I'm actually super into this conversation.
Yeah, me too. Exactly.
Well, we're talking about emotional.
We're talking about what
Yeah.
emotional health. What separates you emotionally?
Well, first, before you answer that question and everything,
Jump into this.
No, I was actually into it. I was into it.
I was too.
I don't want no action. With that.
Okay, well, listen. I just want to know
We're not doing
what made you want to help him, Dr. Javar, going around filming. I mean, did you have any episodes yourself? Do you know any people or anything like that? What made you want to help you?
I went and got him.
You got him?
He's the best.
Have you seen his stuff?
No,
I
I
got
definitely.
whole sway.
Listen,
I can't even take that type of
Let me tell you.
I came to get him. Y'all better know who that boy is. Right there.
That boy
I
made
come
me
to get him.
look
He'd have been to Africa, Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
I'm over your camera.
He's the best. Top joiner crew. If you seen the dope video on anything I got,
That's the one.
and him. But Josue, when I first started, I went and got him. You ain't never seen nobody work like him. Never.
It's for me. It's kind of been especially the last 2-3 years. I started doing this simply, and I continue to do this just strictly with passion. This is there's obviously a business side, but I've always been from day one, and I'll forever. No worries. I'll forever continue to just let passion put me where life decides to put me, and so when I met Javar. And we got a chance to get each other more and more and have conversations, about the importance of mental health. Myself, the last 2 years of my life, I've probably been at the highest points and at the lowest points at the same time.
I think everybody has highs and lows. So the thing is, the trick is to talk about it.
To talk about it.
And a lot of people can't do that.
No. So it's very weird. Just emotionally how you can be, achieving everything that you aspired and but at the same time kind of being drained emotionally. And so it's important to have, the space to be able to have conversations and like I said, the more, we got a chance to know each other and the message that we're sending, which, it affects so many people. So really this is... It does.
Andy, what do you... I mean, you've been working with the team for a little while, and you gathered... I don't know. Did you gather anything out of the sessions or anything like that?
Yeah, 100%. So, a lot of the things... So, Josue brought me on, and originally I didn't know exactly what it was, and then I get to CBS News... and we're talking mental health.
Tell them what you thought it was at first. We was going to CVS.
And then he say what happened was.
He said we're going to be on aisle 7. We're going to be recording.
I thought we were picking up creams.
Keep it in there.
And so I used to study mental health as well.
Oh, nice.
I got into a master's degree. I haven't completed it.
Oh, look at that. Give him hands up. Come on,
a
you're going to complete that. You're going to complete.
Thank you.
Because the community needs you.
I know. But I think, going back to your story, right, I'm figuring that out. And what my story is, what the ending will be, I guess. But I'm just not sure if I'm going to be a mental health practitioner.
Okay.
Because I just have, like Josue mentioned, that passion for the creative side of things. That like filmmaking and telling stories, building and creating, it just pushes me.
Yeah.
Like, at one point, mental health counseling did as well, and I don't know, as things happen, as life goes on, we'll talk.
Because there's a world
about
that intersects.
Yeah.
Right? Being able to see the creative and be able to utilize the skills and tools and knowledge that you acquired while doing the mental health counseling, your films and how you tell stories will be so much more enhanced.
Yeah.
Right.
I will say 100% my ability to listen and be present has definitely helped me in all aspects, including filmmaking. And so going back to when I was brought on to the team, it was like, this is an opportunity to bring in my skill and passion on the videography side, but still contribute to the world of mental health and help others through capturing a great person talking about these things.
Absolutely.
Wow. So let me ask you all, the doctors and specialists in the house, what do you have to say for people who are, the holidays are coming up? The holidays are coming up.
Well, you really have to check in on people, and that's what we don't do,
Yes.
especially your seniors and those who are disengaged, those who are homeless,
Right.
who are having a very, very difficult time. And checking on their strong friends. Those who always look
Always
like
looking,
I'm
yes.
good,
Those are the ones who are
I'm
left
going
behind,
around,
yes.
And they're checking on everybody else, and and your caregivers.
Yep.
This time of year can be very, very depressing and very difficult to navigate.
Right, especially if you lost loved ones, friends, or friends or family during this time. My dad passed away December 20th, 2020. So yeah, December 25 days before Christmas, and so that was his favorite holiday, and so it was kind of rough for a couple years. I mean, it's easy. It gets easier, but it's never easy.
Does it?
No. It gets easy. It gets.
You're able to navigate it.
Yeah.
differently.
There you go.
The easy part doesn't really happen. You're able to navigate it differently.
Right.
This month actually has been super tough for my family. I know I've told you a little bit about it, but my niece, who accidentally drowned back in 2013, she would have been 15 this year, this month, November 6th. And so, especially with going through tragic stuff like that, it's definitely to stay close to your loved ones, because it's.
Oh yeah, definitely. And like Miss Wright said, check in on people. And definitely check on the people who are strong. That's rarely ever mentioned. Check in on the people who is always smiling, always got your back. Because when they go home and close that door, they're not smiling.
And then don't be afraid to reach out for help.
Yeah.
Right. So I have some of my people in some of my stratospheres as well. I'll pray. Absolutely. But God made me too.
Right.
Right.
I like
so,
that.
Yeah. So, and that's the other part, right? So I don't do specifically like Christian counseling, because it's a whole other subset of counseling. But I bring my spirituality into the room, and I meet them where they are. So when I have clients, they're like, my pastor said, I said, absolutely. And I wasn't sure. I said, absolutely. But God made me too, and I'm very aware of that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So as the role of a mental health counselor or therapist, you oftentimes have to remain unbiased, right? And now I know it's not a black and white thing where like you're gonna have some, but how do you, and because this can apply to, so you're at the family dinner table when people have different opinions, right? So how do you like navigate that of like a client having clearly very different opinions than you?
So you're talking about two different things in my mind, right? So with my clients, I see it differently, because they're my clients and I serve a purpose, right? So I do my best to avoid what we call counter-transference, like me counter-transferring what's happening in this space, right? So when I also compartmentalize, probably a little too well, but when I walk into a session, or whether it's virtual or in person, I'm Keisha Golden Cooper, the clinician, right? And I do my best to hold fast to my boundaries. There are times where there is some sharing, right? But I only share if it's going to benefit the client. So that's what I always tell myself. If I'm getting ready to say something that is not in alignment with what's beneficial for the client, I should not say it. Now, the dinner table,
You should let it all hang out.
Well,
Smack.
it depends.
Smacking and everything.
It depends. So I do tell my clients, you know that situation better than anyone.
Right.
So what I may advise you, you also have to make the decision as to if that's the appropriate time or place to have the conversation. Because at the end of the day, like I tell my 15-year-old son, the goal is to come home safe. The goal is for you to remain safe.
Right.
Mentally and emotionally. So you
Right.
do whatever you need to do in that moment.
So let me ask you a question. Do you think COVID ripped the Band-Aid off of something that was on for so long? Do you think they ripped, people stuck in the house and all of a sudden COVID's over and then you got crazier, or we won't say crazier things happening now than what before pre-COVID, Do you think COVID masked, what I'm asking is, do you think COVID ripped the Band-Aid off of people who had some issues?
It absolutely did. I mean, we look at first of all, when you have people who are isolated for so long, and you see people dying around you, and you have no control over it,
Right.
and everybody's fearful,
Right.
right? I mean, for me, I went through some paranoia. I wouldn't let anybody come to my home.
Right.
I wouldn't go out. I would go out and run and come home. Friends would drop food off, I'd spray it. I mean, there were a lot of things that you had to go through.
Yeah.
So it absolutely did. And then you think about the young people, the babies who are ready to go to school for the first time, who never had that experience,
Right.
those who were there, how all of that was going. Then you had to worry about the internet and the access for our young people.
Right.
And the absence
Right.
of education, and then what was going on with education at that time.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of things to say about that, but I'll stop right there.
Okay. Yeah.
I also think it's worth bringing up that the erosion, I guess is the word, or like the veil that was kind of lifted over
Yeah.
the institutions, these institutions and figures and things that we like really respected.
Right.
And then when it hit the fan, you see what the response was, and it was like, oh, okay, these people are just like figuring it out, like this government or like this local government,
Right.
they're just figuring things out just like we are.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it kind of removed that level, that like separation, I feel.
I just know that we never talked about mental health so much until now. Well, I don't remember pre-COVID that us the check-ins on mental health, the make sure you're good, the commercials, the even at the jobs they even have, like at my job, they have a whole psychiatrist there, making sure you get good help, making sure you're good.
You should really take care of your mental health as much as you do your physical health.
Right.
But it hasn't been a thing that's been conducive nor condoned.
Yeah. Right.
That's the point.
And you have to go look at religion. You have to look at a lot of things that will affect that.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is everybody needs to talk.
Right.
And everybody needs to know that there's someone there. For instance, an exercise that we use in school, where you have a workshop and you put all the kids' name on the blackboard. And you have teachers go up and initial where they had a relationship with a kid. And if there were kids up there who had no initials, you needed to go and find out.
Yeah.
Find those kids. And so, but everything changed so drastically, and we're still doing things as if it was 1996, 1966. And so if we expect to move ahead, we have to move ahead.
Yes.
We have to come at this time, and we also have to talk so the kids will listen and people will listen, and you have to listen so that they'll talk.
And I think his curriculum, Dr. Javar Godfrey's curriculum, I've never seen it before, has opened up a lot of kids to come talk. How you get these people to come talk to you? Because kids don't like to talk to nobody.
Kind of what Mama just said. I mean, honestly, remember, in this class, you're the teacher and the student. So, I mean, you're teaching me, but really you're teaching you. So my curriculum teaches people how to teach people how to treat them. So you're going to want to do the curriculum because it's on you.
Right.
It's about your thoughts, your trick. Where did you learn how to think? Who do you have the most toxic conversations with? You need to answer them questions yourself. What sets you off most often? What do you tell yourself once you're triggered? That's you.
What about that 90 seconds, doctor? Godfrey.
We were talking about that. You know, emotions only last 90 seconds.
Oh, and you're right. I was mad for like 90 seconds.
Yeah, but after that, it's on you.
Yep.
I didn't do anything. I let it go, I guess.
So once we realized that, that's a lot of distress. So that's even a holiday, right? So, I mean, even kids, right? So kids are going to get really, really hyped. Mama knows my kids. Y'all know my kids. They get really, really hyped, send you all these lists of all these things they want to get, right? Because their emotions are up, right? I always talk about this, too. Like, emotions is like Christmas gifts. What you get for Christmas last year? That's my point. You don't remember. Your emotions go that fast, but your attitude is not that.
Yep.
Okay? So don't treat me like a Christmas gift if you're not going to keep opening it, because there's nothing there now. And you keep opening up that wound and thinking it's there. And just like trauma, right? Nobody's coming to touch you no more.
Right.
You're a big girl. That
You
man's
have to let
not
the
coming
swelling
in
go
your...
down.
Say, mama.
You have to let the swelling go down.
Boom. And sometimes people don't want to recognize it. We was talking about this earlier. I wrote this thing. I forgot. It's like AAA, right? And this is the problem with our communities. And it's how generational stuff stays.
Right.
So you got to remember that. What did I say? The pain. Pain will be passed down until someone in the family is willing to feel it. And so most people don't want to feel it, so they act. That's the first A. And when you act, you're on stage, right? You're just acting like you drank, but you don't show in front of your kids. You know that you have been touched before, right? But you don't tell your daughter that, right? You just kind of deal with it, and you're blinded, and your veil stays. So the first one is act. And when you act, what do you have to do? You have to avoid. Right? So if you act, you avoid. Well, now you're really fake. So you're acting and you avoid it.
Right.
And then what happens when you avoid it is you create anxiety because your body knows it's not true.
Right.
So that's why I say the biggest lie you can tell is to yourself. So you can sit here all day. That's why my curriculum is the best in the world, because I don't got to touch it. You do. This is something you're right. That's why it's called a worth book, because it's your worth.
Wow.
You don't want to touch it. It's on you. That's how you don't move. And like I asked the other people, and I'll ask everyone listening, what's the last new word you learned to spell? So my point is, we have to grow in some way. And again, remember the curriculum. You're the teacher and the student. That's why it's the best. You don't got to talk nobody into that. Anybody that want to grow in real life, and that's why the curriculum is generationless. I do it with little kids all the way to
exactly. Who are you working with now? You work with a lot of people, celebrity-wise, big time, Pepsi, Nike, all that
so
good
humble.
stuff. Yeah.
But now I'm working with you. Everybody's sitting at home. That's why we're here. That's why the team is here. We got to help the people, y'all. People hurting.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I have a question for you.
You sound like I don't want to answer that.
I got a question for you. When he came around, and then you further away. I was like, let me
get him. Swing it over there. She said,
I got a question.
Say, DJ. Help me. Speak English. All right, go ahead.
No, that's not what I said.
Go ahead.
And I think I said it that way because it's a pretty serious thing, right? Going back to emotions last 90 seconds, right? That when you said that, it hit me, but then I also thought, okay, what if someone's going through grief right now? Because grief can definitely feel like more than 90 seconds. So what would you say to someone, maybe holidays are coming up. Josue mentioned somebody in his family who passed a while back, and so things can bubble up, right? What do you say to someone that's like, I don't know what this guy's talking about, 90 seconds, I've been feeling this for
Oh, that was the anger. He was talking about when you're angry about something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody like really ticked you off.
Yeah, somebody cut me off. I'm
nother
gonna keep it real. Somebody cut me off when I was driving, and I was mad for 90 seconds.
It's explosive, like impulsive.
Yeah, just like when you see a fine girl, and you be like, ooh.
Talk to me.
How long? But watch this. Watch this. Who was the last fine girl you seen?
There's too many.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because it lasted how long?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Because remember, emotions don't have to be bad. That's how people get pregnant.
Yeah.
They told you that. And if you really want to, you said all lie. We can say anything. Now, this how I talk to my athletes and my you said, what she say? She said, "Don't do it," and you didn't, because she was what?
What?
She said, "Don't do it," but you did. It only took 15 seconds. You still got how many out of 90 left? You got 90 seconds to make a decision. You didn't even give yourself the 90 seconds. You burned it in 15. Now you got a baby. Catch up. You got 90 seconds. You did it in 15. The next time you get to a emotional, or I'm going to knock him, you got 90 seconds. Don't do it in 15.
Gotcha. Yeah, let the 90 seconds.
Come on, now you with me.
Yeah.
So you tell me what we just learned.
To
Give yourself 90
give
seconds.
yourself that time. Yeah.
So if you was explaining that to somebody, right?
Sit in it for a little bit.
So grief is way different than what we talking about.
Yeah.
That's more of a feeling that ain't about to. We talking about emotion,
Right.
right?
Okay.
So my brother
Right.
passed away 2 years ago. I ain't let it go. I'm still grieving. It's a process.
Yeah.
It's a process.
And it's all different, right? We all grieve different. So for me, and this is for people who are going through that and maybe don't know how to get out, I'm gonna tell you a quick tool. Do something.
Correct.
Most people don't want to do anything.
Correct.
You know, when I got my darkest days, I was waking up every morning at 2 or 3 in the morning just laying in the bed. And I know somebody out there did that, and I thought I had insomnia. I thought that I was going crazy. And then I started to just sit there and lay. And the longer I laid, the deeper my depression got. And so I wrote, No More Suppression. I'm tired of fighting depression. Your life is full of blessings. I look at losses like a lesson. And I started to live that. And then I started to get up, and then God said, get up. And I started to write. And so my secret is I'm up at 2 every morning and I'm writing, or I'm talking to her. This is real. We've been on the phone from 2 to 5. You know, I'm up every morning. That's why I can't stay in nobody's house but her. 2 to 5, I'm up every morning. So if you out there, you're not trouble. You're not in a bad spot, right?
Nope.
But what I didn't do, I was the deepest spot, is I stayed still. I'm just telling you, you got to move. And another thing you have to do, and you hear me on this, the next time you get there, breathe.
Correct.
Go for it.
I was just getting ready to
Go
say
for it.
that.
You already know.
Yeah. Number one, acknowledge that you're feeling something. Don't ignore it. It's not like, it's not like a pimple where if you ignore it, it'll go away.
Right.
Right?
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's why I
That's
tell
a
my
good
kids
one.
all the time.
That's a good
The
one.
teenagers understand that.
Yeah,
They're like,
exactly.
you see that one?
Yeah, I see that girl.
Right? And it's okay as long as you're going through it. It is a process. When you find yourself in those deepest, darkest times and you are trying to get up, you're not alone. Reach out. Reach out.
Well, you know what? Some people cannot voice. A lot of people cannot voice what they're feeling. They might put it in a sport that they're doing. They
Correct.
might put it in music or a song or whatever, dance, whatever they're doing. Is that that's constructive, right?
It's constructive. So now I'm going to come from two ends, right? I'm going to come from a coach, right? Because I coached track for my entire life until head coach of a high school program, trained All-Americans, worked with did all this stuff. So coaching me, yes, you want to do something with that emotion. Whatever that emotion is, you want to do something. But what happens when you can't run anymore? What happens when you can't shoot anymore? What happens if you're injured? You're still in that feeling.
Right.
Right? So one, do something, but also talk to someone.
Okay.
Talk to someone. And that's why Dr. Javar's program really resonates with me, because it's something that everyone can learn, right? And then once you learn it, now I feel it's like my responsibility to make sure you're good, right? And that's what I had always been doing.
Right.
From teacher to coach to crisis counselor to now therapist to friend. Before I was here, I was coming up the turnpike because I was with my Jack and Jill mom friends, right?
Nice.
And our senior teens, and they're doing this. And I'm that mom, I'm checking in on every teen, but I'm also checking on their moms.
Right.
And I stopped and had a conversation. I call it quiet storm. Because something was brewing and I couldn't figure it out. And I said, you good? She said, I'm good. Yeah, she ain't good. So the other thing that sets me apart is I don't ignore my intuition.
Right.
Which is just a download I'm getting.
Yeah, exactly.
So something said, go back to her.
Right.
So before I left, I said, quiet storm, you good? Put my hand on her back. And I could feel it. And she was like, I'm not good. And we just had a session.
Oh, nice.
So find something to do, but also don't be too bold, don't be too don't ego trip.
Well, the black community do not talk to anybody.
That's
They
why
say
I'm
let
here.
God handle it.
And guess what? Like I said, God made me, honey.
I think also to kind of chip in on that, but the finding something to do to kind of disconnect your brain from everything else that's going on in your life, it's also super important. That's something that I apply to my life. I always talk about adversity, right? So adversity is inevitable for everybody, and it comes in different ways. For some people, it could be the loss of a loved one, the end of a relationship, you lose your job. Something happens in life that's gonna shake you up, and it takes you to that hole to where you're like, wait, like something. How do I? And it's precisely in those places, right, when your back's pushed against the wall, where
Right.
you like for me, I found in running. Religiously every single morning. I didn't care how my body felt. I didn't care. You know, I wouldn't always run the 4 miles, but just kind of getting myself out there and just breathing fresh air, not being with my phone, not on my phone, not paying attention to nothing else. You know, it helped me in so many ways, and just getting my mind in the right place and to be able to overcome, you know, my adversity.
All right, so that go ahead.
If I can, and that's great if that works for you, right? But there's some that are out there that they need more, right? So you have your layers of support, right? So if you're able to, I'm a runner too, so we can talk. You know, if you're able to find that thing that depends on no one but you, which is why I love track, right? If you find that thing that depends on no one but you, and you're able to navigate your everyday life, great.
Perfect.
Great.
As long as you have it.
As long as you have it.
Yeah.
But some people need a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
Like when you're editing that film or that picture, and you're like,
that's
it's
your
good
thing.
here, but
Yeah.
it needs a little bit more. So you're gonna bring in some photo, When you need that little bit more, is when you reach out.
That makes sense.
All right.
When you reach out.
Well, listen, we got to move. Thank you so much for all the information. This is a topic we could talk about forever
We really
and
can. I
ever
could be
and
here for like
ever and
that. I
ever
love
and
this.
ever and ever and ever and ever. But what I want from really quickly, it's the holidays.
Right.
What tip would you give to anybody that's going through the situation or whatever they're going through at this point in time to help them get over, I guess, or ease? Go through. There you go. That's it.
Stay close to your loved ones and just go through.
Yeah. We're going to go around the room that way.
Holidays?
Holidays. You know it's the
Holidays.
worst thing. You're stressed.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be the worst thing. Yes, we're stressed. You may be, you know, the days are shorter. Seasonal affective disorder is real.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest thing to you is not only do you stay close to your family, but stay close to yourself.
Be real.
Be real with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andy.
Something I think similar to that one, or going even a step further, is like, you know, holidays, they're supposed to be very positive. That's what they're supposed to be, and they definitely
turn
can
that
be.
around,
but
honey.
there's also the flip side of that, of like expectations can also lead to negativity.
There you go.
Things not turning out the way
Expectations.
they're supposed to.
Yeah.
Lead to anxiety, all of that. When those feelings do come up, you know, allow yourself to feel them and sit in it, and know that they too shall pass.
And why are you not going back to finish that mental health? thing?
I like that one. Wait a minute. Wait.
Maybe I need some
Go back.
confidence.
Say that. Say that again. This too shall pass.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mama.
Yeah, and then speaking of this too shall pass, it also goes back to your religious beliefs when you're talking about grieving. If you really believe that you're going to see that person again and where they're going is a better place, that we all exclaim, right?
Right.
Then act like it.
Yep. Believe it.
Because we're all going to make that journey.
Yeah. No
All
matter
of us.
what.
And if you believe you're going to see them again, you will. But if you don't believe and you're a doubting Thomas, we just talked about that too.
This morning. Yeah.
This morning. If you're that doubting Thomas, then you don't believe. But I will also say to keep in mind with the subject and stay in my lane, check in on everyone. Invite people to your home
Yes.
for the
Can I
holidays.
throw something in there real quick? She can take my time though.
Okay, go ahead.
She can take my time. So all I want to say is tell them what you taught me today about. So you need to hear this. Well, I hope somebody hears this for elderly people. So I was frustrated a little bit today. I'm just being real with y'all because I had a schedule that was just, it was crazy. Like there was no time to breathe, I thought. And so I was going out with my girls. They're over 80. I'm going to leave it there. And so I was kind of rushing. And Mama stopped me and said, listen, your anxiety level is not the same as their anxiety level. And so you want to explain to them that?
Go ahead.
Take my time.
No, go ahead. Explain.
If you want,
'Cause I don't
I
know
want to
what to
say,
say.
she said my anxiety level is not the same as her anxiety level. And so that when my anxiety level goes up to 10, that can sit her down. So when you're around Thanksgiving and you see someone older and you're a little upset because they may be moving a little slow, you know, or maybe ask you the same question 4 or 5 times, maybe gained a little weight, you know, You know, the jokes and all the stuff that you want to just go around and say that typically sounded funny. Just know that when they go away, they think about that, because watch this, we do it. Just straight up, right? And so if you ask me to give any advice, it would be yes to, love yourself first, because everyone else is already taken. And I mean that. And the people around you, the only way we can break this generational curse is to start being real and stop acting.
Thank you so much for saying that.
Don't go to this family reunion and to pull up in the bins, pull out all this food, 15 bottles, and then go home and can't pay your rent.
Your lights off.
That's not really, or bring your kids over and you got all your kids all decked out and dressed out, but you and your man ain't talking. Like, let's just have a real thing where we just being real with each other and just have fun. And this fun, just like this fun, didn't cost us $1. It just cost you a little bit of time. Just a little bit of your time. So that's the best gift I feel like you can give during Thanksgiving. And when you do get down, a quick tip, start to write what you're thankful for. You can't be mad and thankful at the same time. Start saying, I'm thankful for Mama, I'm thankful for Andy, I'm thankful. What are you really thankful for? And people really, they don't really know. And the next time you're very upset, last one, ask yourself what's really wrong with you. Can you put that in a sentence? What's wrong? Next, at the family reunion. And if you don't believe somebody, instead of saying they lying, you say, where'd you get that from?
Okay.
Give you a quick tip.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more. And then when you're talking to your wife or your girl or whoever, here's a good one for you. Ask them when they about to go. Because they're going to come to you. Hey, this is the time for stories.
Yes.
Say, do you want me to listen? Or do you want some advice?
Tell me, y'all
want $1 million question?
That's a rule in my house.
Do you want $1 million question?
That's a rule in my house with my children.
Do you want me to listen? Or do you want some advice?
That's a rule.
That'll stop a lot of fighting.
Correct.
It'll stop a lot of arguing.
Correct.
And it'll stop a whole lot of I will never talk to you again.
Correct.
Okay.
Which when you don't do that, you're suppressing anger. And they did a study and found that 90% of cancer patients had suppressed
anger.
Don't let nobody make you mad.
That advice or listen is quick tip. What I share with parents.
It's real.
When your children come to you, and I have a 12 and now a 15-year-old. I've been my husband and I have been telling them forever. Do you want mommy and daddy to just listen? Or do you want me to give you some advice?
That's so real, y'all.
Yeah.
That is
really
real.
big.
And actually, that's very thoughtful.
That's your money.
That's actually very thoughtful.
Because that's the whole mid-grow.
Yeah,
mid-grow. I still don't have an opinion with my mom.
Oh,
Mama,
yeah,
remember you used to say validation's a new
I don't either. Mama, I know you listen. All right, so we're about to get out of here real soon. Our time is getting short, but before I go, because all eyes on T is about eyes, we got to do the eye dance on the eye cam and everything. So we're gonna drop that beat. Here's the deal, everybody. So if your eyes are made up or whatever you want to do, you're gonna get up to the camera. I'll go first to show you. I'll go first to show you.
How you gonna show us if you're looking in the camera?
Well, yeah, but well then you can go first.
No, I'm saying show us now. So
if
you go to the camera,
I could have been lit. Somebody should have let me know about this. I could be in there with some red eyes or something.
Do some eyes. Do to the beat.
Okay.
Do your eyes. Jump around. Do whatever you want to do. Okay. All right. So we're about to get into it. You want to go first? Or you want me to go first? I'll go first.
Yeah.
It is me. Anyway,
it is me. I'll put my glasses on.
I can't get to you.
So the beat gonna drop you on count five. Countdown 5. Okay. Ready?
Oh.
5.
Do it, glasses.
4, 3, 2, 1.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's it. All right. So if you can bring the music up a little bit too.
Okay. We gotta get
Okay. Yeah.
I
Can't get down.
I can't get down unless y'all bring a man in here.
You ready? Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much.
That's too low. That's kind of low. Mom ain't been that low in about 15, 20 years.
Think of it as a man. Yeah, think of it as a man.
No, I can't think of that as a man.
Get low.
That's what she said.
Yeah, right down there.
Is it open?
Yeah, it's open. Straight ahead. Ready? 5, 4. Ready? Bounce. 5, 4,
Look away. Look away. Do the look away. That's her signature.
Listen, I first saw Javar do it when we were on the ship last year. I was like, why is he looking away? I have a picture of him looking away. You did that. You did that.
Everybody knew yesterday we're coming over. Can we get that look away?
Yeah, get that look away. All right, get up in there. You can sit down in the chair. Everybody ready? All right, get ready. 5, 4, ready? Go, 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 go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and yeah.
So much pressure.
I know, right? Give me your best eye dance, girl. Show off them eyes. We want the world to see them beautiful eyes. Okay, there you go. There you go. Get them. Drop on the knees, girl. Drop on the knees. Hey, hey, hey. Let me see your eye dance. Eye dance. Your eye dance. Your eye dance. Get it, girl. And 5, 3, and 1. Thank you.
Very graceful.
Huh?
I say you look very graceful.
Thank you.
Very, very graceful.
I was visualizing what I need to do.
Okay, you ready?
Let's go, Sway.
Yeah, no, wait.
You got wait.
I mean, listen, look, yeah, you can do whatever you want to. Yeah, leave it, yeah, you can do whatever. Ready? Yeah, feel that beat. 5, 4, get it, go. Get it, yes, show me those eyes, yes, Josue, yes. Thank you so much, y'all. It's always a fun time to come around and do the little eye dance because, like I said, I'm showing off your eyes too and everything. I want to thank, the chair.
I got it.
Okay. I want to thank everybody for stopping by today, talking about your profession. Holidays are coming up, and like I said, emotional health is very real these days. If anybody needs to get in contact with you to come talk to you, Dr. Javar Godfrey, how can they get in contact with you? On
Instagram, I'm going to mess this all up. Josue, but it's Javar Godfrey, just on Instagram, Facebook. My email is so dr.j.godfrey@gmail.com.
All right. And Andy, if anybody needs any...
How you going to skip Mama?
Somebody trying to... Mama, I don't think...
Mama, you got services you giving them?
What you got?
You selling services, Mama?
Look, my number's in a whole lot of places. Y'all go here.
If y'all want to get in touch with Mama, you got to get in touch with Javar.
Yeah.
No, flip that. She going to get you. She said my number is in a whole lot of places.
Oh, so suave.
All right, yeah, Andy, how can people get in touch with you?
So Andy.moves on Instagram. That would be the best way.
Okay, all right.
Hold on, spell the last name. So Andy. What?
Moves. Moves.
Got it.
Thank you
I
very much.
remember mine.
Andy,
Hey, I've got a couple aliases.
Y'all got some moves. You got some
I want to
moves?
make sure that I heard some moves.
You would dance?
You ain't never seen him dance? Wait a second.
Okay.
Him and Josue got a little something.
Okay, yeah, definitely. All right, Miss Keisha.
Okay, so on Instagram, I am KGC_consulting. If you want to get in contact with me, you can send me an email at info@kgcconsult.com.
All right. And Josue.
Josue.
Yes.
Wait a minute, you hear it, right? You hear it.
Josue.
Josue.
Yep. So I am also on Instagram. You guys can find me True Visuals. It's TRU_X Visuals. And
All right. And you all know how you could find me.
How we find you, too.
It's always on. Always on. Oh, my God. I keep messing. I've been saying that all weekend. You remember I did that yesterday? It's all eyes on T. All eyes on T. It's across the board. I think on Instagram, it's eyes, EYZ_on T. And then everywhere else, it's all eyes on T. That's where it's at. YouTube. Where else? Facebook and everything. Please like, share, and subscribe to my things. I need to get on live on my page, so please help me out. Subscribe to my page, All Eyes on T. Okay? Especially on Instagram, definitely. Oh, definitely I'm on Apple, Amazon, iHeart. Where else am I at? Some other places, but Spotify. And I'm working on trying to get everywhere else and everything. But we're working very hard to try to get more content out there as fast as we could. So please, like I said, again, like, share, and subscribe. And everybody have a happy holiday. And thank you all for being my guest on my show.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being a part of the iDance and everything. I enjoyed every single one, and thank you for all the tips and everything. Happy holidays, everybody. Good night.
Happy holidays.
Good night.